Jeremy Corbyn, don't worry, I'm going to end very soon. You're right. Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry.
How the hell is Boris Johnson prime minister? I mean, every video I have seen of this man. Look, I'm Canadian. I'm not, totally engaged in politics in the UK, but whenever I see this guy speak, he's saying something dumb, and it happened again. So this was, I guess, just after his brother had resigned from his cabinet, and he gave this speech at the officer training academy in Wakefield. It appears to be a political stunt to, I don't know, boost his profile, boost his support. But he was over an hour late to this appearance, and just completely rambled. So I have two clips to show you here. The second one I think is especially interesting, but this first one just gives you an idea of Boris Johnson and his mind, and maybe the most awkward moment during this entire speech.
You know the caution. You know what you have to say when you call someone. You do not have to say anything. Is that right? But anything no, but if you fail to mention something which you later rely on. Hang on, let's get this right. Can you remember it? They all know it. Which you later rely on in court, may be taken into account. Anyway, you get the gist.
All right. I don't know how this guy made it into a position where, first of all, he's on television, let alone he's the prime minister. It doesn't make any sense. Much like Trump, when you see Trump on television, just rambling on or doing things like, having a different map of the Hurricane Dorian, where he draws an extra line so it reaches Alabama because he said it was going to hit Alabama, even though no one ever said that. I mean, you see moments like that, and you see moments like that this here with Boris Johnson. How do these people make it to where they are? Like, both of these people were born with a silver spoon in their mouths. They were born into wealth. That's how they did it. Born into wealth, and they have endless confidence, regardless of their complete inability to do anything. So it's really an example of how far confidence can take you. Regardless of skill, regardless of talent, regardless of knowledge, if you are super confident and you're born on third base, well, you can make it as prime minister or president of the United States. It's insane. But let me get to the video I really want to show you here, because this is really an example of not just Boris Johnson being an idiot, but also not being a human being. So watch as this person behind him faints. Now, remember, Boris Johnson came late to this, so the officers behind him, the trainees behind him, were standing there for a while already before he arrived and began his speech. So somebody behind him faints, and watch how Boris reacts.
Without that actually being put to the people in the form of a vote, and time and time again, Jeremy Corbyn, don't worry, I'm going to end very soon. You're right. Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think that is a signal for me actively to wind up. Okay, time and time again, Jeremy Corbyn has said he wants a vote, and he said he wants an election, and here he is. He's got an election.
All right, I think that says a lot, and I'll show you what I mean, because there is examples of this happening to other politicians, and they acted differently, or at least one other politician that I can think of, and they acted differently. So let me show you what happened when this is, I believe, in 2016. Somebody on stage during a Bernie Sanders rally fainted, and watch how Bernie Sanders reacted and compare that to what Boris Johnson just did here.
I was not consulted. We were told when the debates were going to take place. And as some of you know, they were in some... Oh, my God.
I mean, there you go. That's somebody that actually has a heart. Bernie Sanders has empathy. He feels for people. When somebody faints on stage, he runs to their aid. Boris Johnson turns around, glances, and then keeps talking about Jeremy Corbyn. So, like, understand, this is not even about stupidity. I mean, it's a little bit about stupidity when it comes to Boris Johnson and people like Donald Trump. But it's also about just their lack of humanity. They don't know what... They can't empathize with other people that aren't in their position. Whether it's somebody born poor or somebody fainting behind them. They don't know what to do. Or they don't care. So I think that shows you exactly who Boris Johnson is. So I hope, look, as I said, I'm not all that engaged in politics in the UK, but I hope there's a general election soon. And I hope people understand that this man cannot continue to be prime minister.